Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was one of the most remarkable rulers of Delhi Sultanate, Tughlaq dynasty. He was a great scholar. He had great interest in religion and philosophy. He had mastered mathematics, astronomy, logic, and physical science. He was a lover of Persian literature, music, fine arts, and calligraphy. See how he was multi talented, intelligent. Although he was having all these qualities, he could not implement all these in right time, and the people also could not able to understand his plan. If he had used his plan in a right way, he would have been regarded as one of the greatest ruler, but as ill luck would have it, he became the most failure ruler of Indian history. Let us know about all of his plan of action. The first one is transfer of capital. Transfer of capital from Delhi to Devgiri. In 1327, as his empire had spread to the south, he wanted to shift his capital from Delhi to Devgiri near modern Aurangabad and renamed it Dolatabad. So let us know what was the reason behind shifting of capital from Delhi to Devgiri. First of all, Dolatabad was centrally located. He thought that if he would transfer the capital to Dolatabad, from there he could able to control the whole northern and southern territories. Secondly, at that time, Delhi was in the grip of severe famine. And third, Delhi was constantly threatened by the Mongol invasion. Because of these three reasons, he wanted to shift his capital from Delhi to Devgiri. He ordered the people of Delhi, including religious heads, to shift to Dolatabad. No one liked this decision of the king. No, they were forced to shift. As soon as the Sultan convinced of the failure of his scheme, he ordered the people to return to their homes in Delhi. This one I had already explained in lower classes. This caused lot of hardship to the people. Thousands of people were died while shifting from Delhi to Devgiri and shifting from Devgiri to Delhi. Thus, this transfer of capital scheme became a complete failure of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. The second plan is token currency. In 1329, Muhammad bin Tughlaq introduced token currency that means introduction of bronze tanka in place of silver tankas. And this was done because of the shortage of silver. But these experiments also failed due to the circulation of counterfeit or fake coins on a very large scale, which caused chaos in trade and commerce. Consequently, he withdrew the token currency. So, he introduced token currency by proclaiming that brass and copper coins could have the same use or function as that of gold and silver coins. And silver coins disappeared from the market. Frequently, people manufactured forged copper coins at their homes and circulated that one. Trade and business came to a standstill, came to a halt. Because of that, the royal treasury also became empty. That's why he withdrew the token currency. Taxation in Doab. Muhammad bin Tughlaq wanted to conquer territories not only in India but also in Central Asia, and for this he required a large army and therefore large amount of money to pay the army. So, in order to get more and more revenue, he increased the land tax in the fertile region of Ganga and Jamuna region. But unfortunately, during that time, at the same time, a severe famine broke out in that area and the people refused to pay the extra taxes and rose in rebellion. But the tax collectors showed no mercy and took stern measures, severe measures to collect the taxes. This made some of the peasants to abandon their lands and flee to jungles. When severe famine broke out, thereafter Muhammad bin Tughlaq took effective steps to fight the famine and save the situation. He ordered free distribution of grains, advanced loan to the peasants, improved irrigation facilities, but it was too late and a number of people were starved to death as agriculture suffered a heavy setback in the Doab area. So, see, he wanted to increase the revenue in Doab region, whereas how unfortunate you can imagine from this that at the same time a severe famine broke out in that area, as a result of which the people or the farm peasants could not able to pay the extra taxes. Instead, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the ruler, had to spend a lot of wealth to fight the famine and save the situation. That is why this scheme also became a failure. Plan of conquest. He dreamed of conquering the world. How powerful you can see from this. So he organized a huge army and paid one full year's salary in advance in his soldiers. Wrong step. Without using wit and wisdom, without consulting the senior ministers, he had done this. That's why he had to suffer. He organized a huge army and paid one full year's salary in advance to his soldiers. He then decided to conquer Khurasan, Persia, Iraq. But after a year and following the failure of the token currency, Muhammad bin Tughlaq could not able to maintain such a huge army because of shortage of wealth in royal treasury. As a result, he abandoned the project and disbanded the army. So children, these are the four plan of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. This should be one structured question. Any three, especially transfer of capital, token currency and taxation in Doab, these three are most important. These three would be your structured questions. Prepare these three. Sultanate administration. During the time of Delhi Sultanate, the administration was a powerful and highly centralized administration. The Sultan of Delhi was an unlimited despot. That means he was the supreme executive head, legislative head, judicial and military authority. He was chief executive of the state. He was the highest judicial authority of the state. He was the commander-in-chief of the army. He kept an eye on revenue and expenditure. He could not manage the tasks of administration single-handedly. For this, he was assisted by a number of ministers. The key figure in administration was the Wazir, who acted as the Prime Minister. The Wazir supervised the work of other officials. The final decisions were always taken by the Sultan. So, Sultan was the all in all of Sultanate administration. Next to Wazir, there was Ariz-e-Mumalik, minister in charge of the army. He was not the commander-in-chief of the army. Sultan himself was the commander-in-chief of the army, but his special responsibility was to recruit, equip, and pay the army. He was doing the recruitment to the army. He was responsible for making arrangement of equipments for the army and paying the army. This is the work of Ariz-e-Mumalik. Next to Ariz, there were two other important ministers, Diwan-e-Risalat and Diwan-e-Insa. Diwan-e-Risalat dealt with religious matters and was presided over by a chief Sadr, who was generally a leading Qazi. The Qazi was the head of the Department of Justice and advised the Sultan on civil and religious matters. The Diwan-e-Insa dealt with state correspondence. So these are the provincial administration, central administration of Delhi Sultanate. Delhi administration during the Sultanate, the empire was divided into provinces called Iktas. Each province was placed under official called Muktis. That means the provinces, empire was divided into provinces called Iktas headed by Muktis. To facilitate local administration, the provinces were further divided into Sikhs and Parganas or districts. The village was the lowest administrative unit of Delhi administration. The officials who worked at the village level included the Mukaddam, the village headman, Patwari, the record keeper, the Mushrif, village accountant. Each village also had a panchayat to settle local disputes. So this is all about our Sultanate administration. So here, let me tell you, in Sultanate administration, first point you have to write all about Sultan. Second point, Wazir, Prime Minister. Third point, you have to write about Arij-e-Mumalik, Minister in charge of army, whose responsibility was to recruit, equip and pay the army, that much. Then Diwani-Risalat, which dealt with religious matter, and Diwani-Insa dealt with state correspondence. Thereafter you have to divide the empire. The empire was divided into provinces called Iktas headed by Muktis. Further, provinces were divided into Sikhs and Parganas or districts. Village was the lowest administrative unit. This should be your another point. And the officials who worked at the village level were Mukaddam, Patwari, Mushrif. That much you have to write. So administration 1 number you have to make. First point Sultan, second point Wazir. Directly you have to write. Third Arij-e-Mumalik. 4 Diwani-Insa and Diwani-Risalat. And fifth point all about the division of empire. Thank you, children.